How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Blades of Fire. We're still in the demo here, but I wanted to give you guys a kind of starter guide here, as I've spent some time with the demo trying to learn the mechanics of the game. And one thing I will say right off the bat is this is a game that you need to be extremely patient with. It's got methodical combat, and you're not going to be having a good time running into this game and R1 spamming your way to victory. There are a lot of interesting mechanics at play that I like a lot, actually, and I figured I would bring those to your attention and see if this is something that you would want to play. I mean, obviously you can play the demo, but it also helps having someone kind of lay things out for you as well. So we have different weapons. As you see, one of mine is already broken, but we can repair that. Um, Now, to explain that a little bit, if you look in the lower right, the little star, and it's got a 2, that indicates the kind of the, I guess, the rarity of your weapon and how many times it can be repaired. In this case, this is the sword that you get at the beginning, and it can be repaired twice. Now, I actually forget what the green anvil is. I think that is how many times you can sharpen before you can't anymore. I found out before what that icon was, and honestly, I forget now. But then next to the name of the sword, we are in slashing. This weapon has pierce and slash. You know, because of the blade, you can poke or you can slash. So we have some bonfire-like mechanics here, some Souls-like mechanics in the game, and this game is very much God of War mixed with Souls-like combat. So we can repair this weapon. So why don't we do that? Okay. And so we're good there now. So now, as you go through your weapons here, we can change to piercing by pressing the right trigger. So now we're in piercing or slashing. Now the reason for this is if we go over and talk to this fine fellow over here, we see that in slashing there is a yellow outline around him. Now I have the outline always staying on for demonstration purposes here. So if we switch to piercing, it's now green. We're going to deal a lot more damage with green outlines around enemies. Now this can vary. This guy specifically, it's going to be his whole body. Will show you another enemy that, based on their movements, the outline around the body, the head, the arms, can change at any time. So that makes it much more interesting in terms of the approach on how you attack the enemy, because there are directional attacks here. We can attack to the left, attack to the right, the head, the body. So those are respectively are the face buttons. So you know, if you are facing an enemy where let's say the arms are green and the head and the body are red or something like that, you're going to want to use those left and right attacks. So like I said, we'll showcase that. You do have light attacks and strong attacks if you hold down the face buttons on the controller. L2 will, if you have, well, let's do a few swings here. Trying to spend my stamina. So yeah, there. So now that regens my stamina by holding the left trigger, and the yellow bar below that is actually my actual stamina. So like if I block and let the guy hit me, he can still break my guard by the yellow bar dissipating. Also, there is a parry system. The window is pretty tight, but let's attack this guy. There is yeah, there we go. Got a parry. There is a dismemberment system, or what they're calling a mutilation system. There are some bigger enemies that you can kind of stun and get mutilations on. like the ogre. If you guys have played the demo, there is an ogre or a troll that you can basically mutilate him, and then he can't regenerate. So lots of different systems in the game here, which is pretty cool. I like it a lot. Like I said, it is something you need to be patient with. So we pick up materials from fighting enemies. Let's show you as well. Go back up here. In case some other fellas decide to interrupt us. Rest here. Personally, I think the rest animation needs to be cleaned up and be like instantaneous instead of like the loading screen and whatnot. But that's just me. So let's go into the menus here. So we have a map. Looks like a pretty beefy map. Again, this is the demo. We have, as we go through the game, there are secrets like chests and stuff like that. And there looks like there's health upgrades, stamina upgrades. There are cryptex. So these basically, this is for life. And then this is a forge cryptex. So these allow you to, when you go into the forge and forge weapons, right now at the beginning of the game, you can only go up to 4 stars, and I believe you can go up to, I'm not sure the maximum number, but I got one here that you can bring pole arms up to level 5 stars. So again, the stars are the amount of times that the weapon can be repaired. So we did craft another sword here. This is a 4-star sword instead of the 2-star that we got at the beginning of the game. Resources, as you defeat enemies and stuff like that throughout the game, you're going to be getting higher quality steel and materials to craft your weapons. With a name like Blades of Fire, you know that you're seeing already that the weapons have a deep impact on the gameplay, and forging as well has a massive impact and part of the gameplay. Like I said, I'll show you the forge in a little bit. So these are quests. This is bestiary, the forge, characters, stuff like this. Gives you some combat tutorials, stuff like that. Now these are all the weapons as you go through the game and fight different enemies. It's going to allow you to craft different weapons. So as you see, there's a couple great swords here for the ogre or the troll. We can get his, but we gotta kill 3 more of him and like almost like 32 more skeletons to get that great sword. There's a war axe, there's a war hammer, so stuff like that. So, you can farm up the materials, farm up the enemies, and try and get those blueprints unlocked. I mean, obviously, you're going to be, as you do that, you're going to be eating away at your current weapon durability. So there is that vicious cycle of continually making weapons and your weapons breaking and repairing weapons. So to my understanding, this game is a 50 to 60 hour game, and I was joking in the stream that it could be because you spend a lot of time in the forge. That could be why that the campaign is so long. But like I said, I like it a lot. So now if we wanted to go in here and repair something, and you don't have the materials, you can actually press square and kind of find out where these materials might be. So like if we look at this, brings you to the encyclopedia. It's gonna tell you like where to find it. Obviously, we don't have any of that filled out yet because this is the demo and we're not very far into the game. But very interesting here. Some of the stuff is filled out. So I think this is very, very well implemented here. Like it a lot. So let's go to the forge. And honestly, one of my tips would be, spend some time going through the the menus and taking a look at everything, because there is a lot of good information there, a lot of helpful tips, and you can just generally learn a lot about the game just going through that. So if we wanted to craft something here, we could go into, let's do another spear, because I think the one that I have is getting worn down a little bit. I'm not actually going to fully craft this, but I'll just show you the general idea. So stats all on the right, and you manipulate these stats by choosing different heads. As you see, that gives us more stamina and dodge cost. However, gives us minuses in our damage department, which we don't want. This gives us more piercing, more slashing. However, the block and parry gets taken away. So lots of considerations to be made here. Use different steels for this part of it. So durability, sharpening cost goes up, and pretty much everything goes up on that. Just lose out on a little bit stamina. That one's not too bad. And then, so as you see, you can just choose whatever you want here. And as I said, as you go through the game, we're gonna be getting higher rarity items to craft stuff. And you can select this stuff, and like I said, it reminds me almost of the game we played earlier this year, Eternal Strands, where the different types of resources that you're using to craft your weapons manipulate the stats, and I like that a lot. I think it's a very deep and robust crafting system. So you can change the length of the spear, and then when we actually go to forge, there is a mini game here. So I'm gonna start hammering. So will save you a lot of time. Okay, so with this, each of the analog sticks are going to manipulate these bars, and basically what you want to do is you want to make the bars go. Let's do this side first here. You want to make the bars go as close to the line as you can, the white line as you can. So we'll do that, and then it takes a lot of time trying to, at least for me, because I want to get this perfect, want to get that 5-star weapon. So you're trying to manipulate it in the right way to get that as close to the white line as possible and maintain your stars here. Let's try and get these down. As you see, it gets it's a little complicated. I mean, I'm not going to sit here the whole time and do this, just add another 10 minutes to the video, but you get the idea. And I don't think there's any way to cancel out of this. But yeah, those would honestly be my tips for the game. Go into the game knowing that you're gonna have to be patient with the game, and it's very methodical combat. A lot of focus around the forging like this. If you aren't gonna have a lot of patience for that, then maybe play the demo and see what you think, and kind of judge from there. But I like it a lot. We're going to be doing a Let's Play series, and if you guys want to see that, make sure to stay locked into the channel. That's about all I have right now. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. So hopefully you're all doing well. Stay tuned. More coming at you. Take care.